Hey guys, how you doing? This is Brad with ATRE Podcast.com, all things real estate. I am so excited about my next guest. We have Jonathan Petralia from Remax One. Now, Jonathan was born and raised in the San Fernando Valley. He's a third generation realtor. His grandmother, his mother, and now Jonathan. Jonathan graduated from CSUN with a degree in public relations. Shortly after graduating, Jonathan decided to take all that knowledge and get into the family business. So what happened? 1998, Jonathan joined Remax One and has been there ever since. He met and married his wife Jackie there in 2006 and has two sons, Luca and Christian. Christian came first. I know that for a fact. Jonathan, how are you, buddy?
I'm great, buddy. How are you, Brad?
I'm doing good. You look wonderful.
Awesome, man. You too, bud. It's good to see you.
So much. Thank you. And I'm really happy for you. For those of you who don't know, Jonathan and I have known each other for how long?
40 plus years.
That's 40 plus years. And it's wonderful to be able to say that we're still such good friends. And
Absolutely.
Jonathan is not only a great friend. I don't get to see him or talk to him as much. We both have families, but he is someone that I will always think of and love very much. So I'm so happy that you're here.
You too, buddy. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Jonathan's a fantastic real estate agent at Remax One in the San Fernando Valley. He's over in Porter Ranch, California. Now, is that the only area that you specialize in, or do you sell all over?
I sell all over the San Fernando Valley. I primarily, the large majority of my business comes from Porter Ranch because I live there. My kids go to school there. And so, yeah, I mean, my office is right around the corner from my marketing area. So it really is advantageous. It's a great location.
Jonathan, how did COVID affect your business in 2020?
Yeah, it was a little adapting. We all had to adapt. We had to all figure out how to navigate through the showing process.
Yeah.
Accessibility for showings was different. We had forms that we needed to have signed just in order to show a property. Right. So,
and it was a little scary, right? And
it was scary. I mean, there was a point in time when we couldn't show houses whatsoever. So,
and when we all of a sudden could, it was a feeling of, oh God, so I'm right there in the mix. What do I do? No protection,
Yeah.
And it was scary. I agree.
Yeah.
Where do you see real estate headed, Jonathan, in 2021?
I'm really optimistic about real estate. I mean, interest rates are extremely low, inventory is very low.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing for sellers. And there's a lot of demand. There's just a lot of demand for housing here. So
it's amazing.
Yeah,
everything's selling 100,000 over list price. I mean, it's crazy.
It's a wonderful thing to see. Super happy for buyers that are able to get into properties. So even if I'm the listing agent and I'm not representing the buyer, I just feel so happy for those buyers that
of course. And that's
because I know how.
Do you consider yourself a listing agent or a buyer's agent?
I'm primarily a listing agent. I do get buyers. Buyers are usually a byproduct off of my listings. Right. So that's how I usually get my buyers, is from the listings that I have, the inventory that I have. So that's usually how I get my buyers, but primarily a listing agent.
Yeah, excellent. I feel the same way. So Jonathan, you know that this podcast is primarily for newer agents who are, don't really know what to do or wanting to learn about the business or even get better. They want to hear from seasoned professionals like you. And then it's also for buyers and sellers who maybe just want to learn a little bit more about how agents think. So how should an agent, be preparing to have a successful 2021? What are you doing?
Well, if you've already been in the business, my hope is that you're preparing in the final quarter of 2020 to get ready for 2021. So
let's say they weren't. What would you tell a new agent today? In order to, if they said, hey, Jonathan, I'd like to be more successful. I want to make $200,000 this year. I've never sold a house. What do I do?
A new agent or seasoned agent?
New agent. What would you tell them?
All right. Well, first thing I would tell them is, the very first thing for a new agent, get a great coach.
Yeah.
Get a great coach. Somebody like yourself, Brad. Brad is a phenomenal coach. I've been watching him mentor agents and seeing the progress that they have made in their careers.
Thanks, man. I
Really,
appreciate that.
yeah, no,
Later.
you've done a really great job. You've cultivated a lot of great agents. So
Thank you.
that's a
I actually am really proud of that. And well, what would you tell a new agent? Would you tell them that they would, first of all, not to think that they're going to make 200,000 the first year, and then what would you tell them about?
I
What would
hope they do.
Right.
I hope they do.
What would you
listen,
tell them about goals, or what's the first thing that you would kind of say to them to get ready? Is there anything you could recommend? Open houses when they're back. I mean,
they got to be consistent. The market has changed, so we can't do open houses anymore. We can't. So for new agents, when you and I got in the business, open houses were a great way for us to start our careers, right?
Yeah.
And pick up buyers from those platforms. Can't do those right now. So I would say pick a marketing area. If you're a new agent, pick a marketing area. Market that area to the hilt. I mean,
right. Good for you.
be a driving force in there, whether it be through mail. I'm not sure if people can door knock anymore, or if they can door drop, or
But they could drop. They could drop and come up with a strategy, right? Come up with a plan.
Come up with a plan. Come up with a strategy. If you're marketing an area, the only thing, the biggest thing I can tell you is sellers want to see what's been happening in their marketing.
That's right. Newsletters, right?
They
do a great job
part.
of that. You do a great job of that. I watch you on social media. And if you're listening and as a new agent or even a seasoned agent, Jonathan will go on and he'll really talk about supporting local businesses or what's certain homes in the area and what they're going for and why. And I really like watching you, and I think you're doing a fantastic job with that.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would just say if you're a new agent, pick a marketing area and really, really work it.
Jonathan, let me ask you. So you're a third generation realtor. I mean, I know your mom really well. In fact, Jonathan's mother, I want to get her on my podcast really badly. So she was the first person I called when I wanted to get my real estate license, and we didn't have the internet then. And she set me up with a company that I had to go and get the books and study at home, and then go to some classes. It was you may have went to the same one, that David Calhoun, I think his name was.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's still around.
What was the name? I can't remember the name of it.
I don't remember either. It's been.
I remember his name though. Yeah,
but,
he was off of Wilbur and Parthenia.
Yeah, but Patty was, who's Jonathan's mom, was fantastic, and she really helped and guided me a lot. And I can't wait to have her on. And your grandma was just a beautiful, special lady who I loved.
Yeah.
And,
she was awesome. She was just a wonderful person. And
so do you remember when your grandma was in real estate and your mom at the same time? And do you remember anything specific, or what made you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
No, it's funny. So I remember vividly being young. I was probably somewhere between 5 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
It was on a Friday. So Friday caravans were really the big thing.
Yes.
And I guess my mom didn't have a babysitter that Friday, so I went with her. And we went to a house in Westchester County in Woodland Hills.
Yeah, I just sold one over there.
I know you did. Yeah, I know you did. So we went to a house there, and it was obviously a huge, beautiful house. And I looked at my mom and I said, "So this is what you do all day?" And she said, "What's that?" And I said, "You just look at beautiful houses all day and you get to sell these?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, I think that's probably what I want to do when I get here." So,
this isn't so bad.
No, it's not bad. It's a great thing.
And then you realize there's really a lot of work behind it, huh?
Yeah. Then, once you get into it, then you realize, oh, okay. So there's a lot of moving parts to every transaction.
Well, you were lucky to really have a wonderful mom and a wonderful grandma to emulate. And, let me ask you, Jonathan, if you were Marty from Back to the Future, and you got in that DeLorean and you had to cruise back to tell young Jonathan something, whether life or real estate or whatever, what would you tell young Jonathan to look out for?
I think real estate wise, I would tell young Jonathan, buy more real estate.
Yes.
Invest in what you know. There were properties that I sold that I wish I didn't sell that I still had.
Yeah.
There were properties that I wish I would have purchased that I didn't. But listen, everything worked out fantastic. But I would say invest in what your business is, and your business is selling real estate. Invest in real estate. That's what I would tell
young Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what advice could you give your sellers in Porter Ranch or anywhere else right now that you could give them about if they're getting ready to list their home? They haven't called you yet, or maybe they will, or maybe they're all over the country somewhere. Make it country specific, because this podcast is listened to all over the country. What advice can you give a seller who's getting ready to list their home?
Yeah. So first thing I would say is to declutter as much as possible. Whether that means that you have to rent a PS storage or something for a month or two. Really try to declutter the house. Also, the other thing too is make sure you fix everything that is not perfect with the house. Even down to the little things. If you're missing a doorknob on a cabinet or something, replace that doorknob. It's just I have this motto: everything is everything. So even the little things make a big difference. So anything that that needs repair or whatnot, go ahead and get those fixed before you even get your house on the market.
It's really great. I love everything is everything. That's wonderful.
Everything is everything. The little stuff, the big stuff, it all adds up.
Jonathan, what advice could you give a buyer who's looking to buy a home?
Yeah. Okay. So in today's market, especially, but any buyer, I would say get a full pre-approval first. Contact a lender of your choice, or if you don't have a lender, find a lender that your realtor can recommend, but get a full pre-approval first. Make sure that lender has your bank statements and your pay stubs and all of that good stuff, to where the only thing that's missing is the house for you to purchase and an appraisal on that property. Because in today's marketplace, it is so competitive. You really want to make sure that you put your best foot forward. And advice that I can give to realtors too: do not work with buyers unless they have been pre-approved.
Wonderful advice. That's exactly correct. If they are not willing to do the work themselves, then they're not ready to work with you.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
really absolutely right.
Jonathan, how can a buyer or seller get a hold of you if they'd like to buy or sell their home right now? If they wanted to work with the great Jonathan Petralia, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, my phone number is area code 818-269-6964. My website address is www.jonathanpetralia.com. Also, my other website is www.porterranchproperties.com. And then you can also email me at jonathan@jonathanpetralia.com.
And Jonathan's absolutely wonderful. He really has. He puts attention to detail in everything he does. He truly cares about his clients. And you would really be fortunate if you were able to work with a guy like Jonathan. So I highly recommend giving him a call. And even if you're an agent and you want advice, give Jonathan a call and talk to him. He's really, really knowledgeable.
Absolutely. And I would recommend new agents as well as seasoned agents. Contact Brad. Brad has done a remarkable, I can't emphasize this enough, that he's done a remarkable job with a lot of agents in cultivating their careers. And I think they would also say that they are very appreciative that they have Brad in their corner. And you've done a great job with them, Brad.
Thank you. And I really appreciate that, Jonathan. And to those of you who are interested in using me for your coaching, go to my website at ATREPodcast.com. Sign up for my 5 free videos. I have a 5 free video course that when you sign up, every couple of days, you're going to get a new video with 5 to 10 minutes worth of incredible knowledge that will help you start selling real estate today. Jonathan, thanks so much, buddy.